There's nothing better than throwback fashion, especially when it reminds you exactly where you came from. From flappers in the 1920s to jean skirts in the early aughts, click through more than 120 years of street style ahead to see what people were wearing the year you were born. You're guaranteed to cringe, laugh, and reminisce. In this video, we will let you know the history of 120 years of teenage fashion, from the year 1900 to 2020. Let's start the journey. In 1900, the beginning of the Edwardian age, brought fashion looks like the S-bend corset and style standards of the Gibson girl, which were carried over from the last decade. Year 1901. These cool cats and kittens wore a trend popular in the Western world. Broad hats decorated with feathers and other materials were thought to be a staple alongside Gibson girl hairstyles. Year 1902. Powder pigeon blouses and trumpet skirts were all the rage in 1902. Year 1903. Believe it or not, wearing your underwear inside out didn't start in Mean Girls. The camisole, which is still used today in modern forms, was a sleeveless undergarment for women, usually accompanied with frills and lace. Year 1904. Frothy afternoon dresses started gaining popularity in the 1870s, but really started to peak in the 1900s. Stiff collars never looked better. Year 1905. Ruffled sleeves and waist-cinching bows were the defining features of dresses during this time. Oh, and corsets, of course. Year 1906. Something makes us think that these bicyclists would be horrified, possibly enthralled, by today's current bike short trend. Year 1907. Conservative necklines were of the utmost importance in the Edwardian era. It even became fashionable for women to take it a step further by adding a lace bib on the front of their dresses. In 1908, how very Cora Crawley, from Downton Abbey, embroidered velvet or silk robes were all the rage, as fashion began to shift towards more free-flowing styles in the early 1900s. Year 1909. Elaborately beaded dresses, like this one by the designer of the decade, Paquin, were common for formal evenings. Year 1910. High necklines, cinched waist dresses, and ostrich feathered hats were the name of the game for Edwardian fashion. Year 1911. Coming out of the Edwardian era, boxy suits became a new wardrobe staple, although the high neckline and gloves remained key. Year 1912. A wide-brimmed sun hat covered in elaborate flowers and ribbons was the ultimate accessory in 1912. In 1913. Opulent materials, like lace, muslin, and ostrich feathers, were status symbols in 1913. In 1914. Wearing either a fur or ostrich stole on top of your many petticoat layers was the height of fashion, no matter what age you were. In 1915. Women's bathing suits became a little bit more stylish around 1915, as designers started making them in a variety of cuts and patterns. In 1916. This lovely lady would never get lost in a crowd with this hat. In 1917. Can we all agree that, if Beyoncé lived 100 years ago, this jacket would definitely have been a part of her wardrobe? Year 1918. The great-grandmother of the midi-skirt makes its appearance in 1918, with the must-have accessory of the season, the pointy black umbrella. Year 1919. Nobody would be spotted at high tea without an umbrella, a wide-brimmed hat, or white gloves. Preferably, all three. Year 1920. For 1920, this thoroughly modern look is basically the 2004 equivalent of the Mean Girls miniskirt. Year 1921. Photographic evidence that the Roaring Twenties were the epitome of elegance. In 1922, the woven skirt is a standout piece, but it looks even more chic coupled with the gloves that may or may not have inspired Lady Gaga's 2015 Oscar look. In 1923, there's no such thing as too much fur, clearly. In 1924, the fur hula hoop trend continues to grace the streets in 1924. In 1925, these youthful ladies hit the toe modeling some flapper costume inspiration, beads, hats, and skirts your squad will be copying next Halloween. In 1926, the bold bows, along with sassy pointy-toed pumps, tie these looks together. Year 1927. Between the sophisticated sun hats and the lace detailing on the skirts, 1927 is the year of garden party chic. Year 1928. A pleated knee-length skirt can easily be paired with a Taylor Swift-approved bob and bold lip combo. In 1929, flowy pattern play and oversized, floppy hats are the name of the game. In 1930, here we see the slightly more modest lacy ancestor of the red carpet naked dress. Year 1931. These washerwomen expertly coordinate their on-trend looks, slaying those neck shawls along the way. In 1932. Whoa, wait a minute, is that a pantsuit she's rocking? With the cinched belt detail, this is an impressively contemporary look for 1932. In 1933. Structured, embellished shoulders complete these delicate looks, which might get you in the mood for a spot of tea and scones. In 1934. This houndstooth ensemble screams, "Step into my office." In 1935. Throwing on a long fur coat and coordinating hat was clearly the move back in 1935. Year 1936. These sunbathing beauties show off beach glamour in its original form. Year 1937. Animal-inspired, bold pattern coats aren't going anywhere in this decade. Year 1938. Accessories clearly take the reign here. See, the pom-pom beret, fitted blazer, and heeled loafers. And we're happy to report that cute dogs are still a trend. Year 1939. A-line skirts quickly replace the pencil skirt suit, giving the legs just a bit of breathing room. In 1940. Stripes, making backyard lounging stylish since 1940. In 1941. Fur rules once again, pictured here with coordinated accessories, a boxy bag, and an elegant pointed hat. In 1942. The USA creates fireworks in the fashion world in 1942, inspiring bursts of patriotic touches. In 1943. A walk in the park requires a dash of springy florals, no matter what Miranda Priestley would say. Year 1944. Ruffles are absolutely everything in this look, and wedges give it a modern feel. Year 1945. These skirt-suited ladies are literally on their way to rule the city. Year 1946. Schoolgirl-inspired fashion captured the best of both worlds at the time, pants and skirts, never without a cardigan. In 1947, Christian Dior led the charge for the fashionable A-line silhouette that added emphasis to a woman's hourglass figure. In 1948, the return of the pleated skirt, with ankle strap heels to boot. Year 1949. Behold, a distant relative of harem pants. The first ever bubble hem hit the scene in 1949. Year 1950. Shoulder pads make their fashion debut with this coat and skirt set. And, of course, more leopard print. Year 1951. Printed wrap dresses accessorized with embellished hats and white sandals dominated the summer street style in 1951. In 1952, skirt suits still steal the moment in 1952, updated with a chunky beaded necklace and shoulder bag. In 1953, these impeccably dressed ladies take the tiniest bags with them on a stroll. In 1954, the skirt suit is slowly evolving, with the addition of a cape, an early source of style inspiration for the countless celebs who wear capes. In 1955, baskets are not just for Easter anymore. They happen to be the go-to accessory of 1955. In 1956, coats get longer and bags finally get bigger in 1956. Holiday shopping has never looked so fab. Year 1957. A fun silk neck scarf and a matching skirt and jacket combo is what any modern woman needs to get her through the day. Year 1958. The veiled hat allows little shade to be thrown anytime, anywhere. Year 1959. Automatic shade, the sequel. This look is proof that tossing on a trench and black sunnies is the way to make sass happen. In 1960. This woman is also trying to figure out how she'll walk in the longest, pointiest shoes you have ever seen in your life. Podiatrists everywhere are thankful that trend didn't last long. In 1961. Silky trapeze silhouettes are the newest trend to blow up in 1961. In 1962. Just casually sitting on a car in a plaid skirt and scarf set, NBD. Year 1963. That hat though. And, finally, a bag that is big enough to actually hold things. Year 1964. The art of the trapeze coat swings back into action in 1964, with a classy updo to match. In 1965. This woman struts her stuff in a bold collared, long peacoat, and a signature 60s high pony. In 1966. The poncho officially becomes an evening staple when paired with sexy, strappy heels and a high-volume do. In 1967. Street style gets a Shakespearean makeover with lacy cuffs, a lacy collar, and buckled black loafers. Year 1968. A look you could totally get away with in 2016, fitted turtleneck, plaid skirt, and high boots. Year 1969. The mini dresses and long, layered necklaces are cute, but those patterned tights are straight fire. Year 1970. Corduroy bell-bottoms? A couple of years ago, we would have said no way. Year 1971. Who were you in 1971, if you didn't hit the streets in a psychedelic kimono set? In 1972. The pure essence of the 70s. Namely that powder blue suit and matching ruffled shirt. In 1973. If it weren't for the addition of black tights, we would totally be getting Dukes of Hazzard vibes from the denim shorts and button-down combo. In 1974. When something your great aunt knitted meets street chic attitude. In 1975. Only in the 70s could you look like a human banana and still be runway ready. Year 1976. Flares are very much still present. It is the 70s after all, this time combined with long wool jackets, scarves, and a beret to add a touch of sophistication. Year 1977. Long wool coats make yet another appearance. These original hipsters show us how the beanie is done. Year 1978. Every dancing queen needs a belted striped mini dress to let out her inner disco diva. Year 1979. This Farrah Fawcett-inspired Sunny Beach ensemble rounds out the 70s quite well. You can never go wrong with bright yellow platforms. Year 1980. Blue and red color blocking was 100% a thing back in 1980, as were mom jeans and leg warmers, in case you couldn't tell. Year 1981. Don't you miss the days when you could go out in a puff-sleeved belted leotard? Just ask your mom, she'll tell you. In 1982. A never-before-seen pic of your aunt and uncle heading into a Journey concert. In 1983. Never mess with a woman in head-to-toe pleather. In 1984. Now here's the 80s look we dreamed of in every Molly Ringwald movie, who decided to do away with pockets that could actually hold our belongings. In 1985. As the song goes, in 1985, there was Springsteen, Madonna, way before Nirvana. And it definitely holds true for these lace-gloved Madonna fans. In 1986. Blue on Blue. 1986 was a monochromatic time. Year 1987. This dress might actually still be in your mom's closet. Whether she can still get away with it is not up to us. Year 1988. The choice to wear heels while shopping seems misguided. But the idea to match the two daughters in Madeline-inspired outfits is genius. Year 1989. We reached the peak of floral on floral in the 80s, but mother-daughter outfit coordination has certainly outlived this era. Year 1990. Crop tops, tight dresses, and sequins galore. Today's trends are still taking notes from the 1990s, and we're still copying their poses too. Year 1991. Friends who nailed the light wash jeans trend together stay together. Year 1992. An all-white ensemble for the win. With an oversized jacket and pants, a high-waisted belt, and an umbrella without rain, walking the dog has never looked better. In 1993. We won't tell anyone that she raided Grandma's closet for this head-to-toe look, including the bright white hat and a small, over-the-shoulder bag, because in 1993 standards, she definitely worked it. In 1994. You can't touch this look, no matter what you do. In 1995. This is 1995 nightlife fashion at its finest, a white mock-neck tennis dress, with cutouts paired with white sneakers. Cue "This Is How We Do It" blasting through the speakers. Year 1996. The late 90s were the days when your look could include denim cutoffs, knee-high socks, or citrus fruit print flares, and no one would judge you, in the slightest. Year 1997. Jeans got even lighter, as the decade wore on, and bikinis became even more acceptable, as tops. Year 1998. 1998 was the year of the midriff top. Britney Spears tested, parents unapproved. Year 1999. Mixing just about every color of the rainbow in one outfit is completely allowed in 1999. In fact, it's encouraged. In 2000. Neon and netting was enough to make us toss our hair to in 2000. In 2001. JNCO jeans decided to make one last billowing appearance in the new millennium. Year 2002. When in doubt, throw on a fedora and choker to achieve a perfectly authentic 2002 style. Year 2003. The most popular outfit in 2003? A spaghetti strap tank, bootcut jeans, and pumps, of course. In 2004. Don't lie, we remember you wearing this outfit on school picture day, and maybe even repeated it once or twice. Year 2005. Both Paris Hilton and Elle Woods would endorse this pink patterned halter dress and sunglasses combo. Year 2006. These two BFFs bring Snooki and JWoww realness. Plus, those hair flowers. In 2007. The perfect 10th grade outfit begins with a striped tank and slouchy knit beanie. In 2008. Remember when hands-free bags existed? Or heeled Mary Janes? Yeah, neither do we. In 2009. This yellow shift dress gets finishing touches in the form of black heeled booties with killer side-eye. In 2010. Anyone can give off that cool California girl energy with a white linen dress featuring crochet accents, booties, and sunglasses. In 2011. Business casual gets a 2011 update with a pale pink blazer, white skinny crops, and peep-toe pumps. In 2012. This bright purple satchel offsets the 50 Shades of Grey in this sweater dress, long peacoat, fur piece, and booties. In 2013. Leopard print returns in the 20th century. It's alive and well in 2013. Year 2014. Vintage festival fashion, which most of us are not cool enough to pull off, resurrects itself in the age of Coachella. Year 2015. 2015 seems so dated, despite this fresh black high-neck chiffon dress, wide-brimmed hat, and booties. Year 2016. Layers on layers was the look of 2016. Year 2017. Suits make it into mainstream fashion once again, in 2017, this time in an oversized fit. A bold color was encouraged. Year 2018. Dad sneakers slowly started creeping into the fashion world when designers like Balenciaga debuted them in 2018. By summer, they were one of the most popular trends. In 2019. With nostalgia leading the charge on trends, we saw the return of the crop top in the mid-2010s. It wasn't long until that transformed into one of the biggest trends of the year: bras as shirts. Note the extended bike shorts and mules she paired it with. Year 2020. Quarantine looks consist of anything comfortable with subtle pops of color. For more stories like this, including celebrity news, beauty and fashion advice, savvy political commentary, and fascinating features, please subscribe our channel now. Enjoy Knownterest, know yourself.